Welcome back to the second segment of the correction for the 97 Toyota Supra 15th anniversary. We have everything protected, taped off. We have MEGS 83 tested on the hood, and it works perfectly fine. We did this side of the roof, the driver's side, and all we have left over are some deeper imperfections that I have to hit a little bit later by wet sanding. So let's jump over to the other side, and what we're going to do throughout the series is break out different types of polishes and see if they work and react well with the clear coat on this Supra. So again, we have the love marks and swirls not only on top of an existing coating, but we have to remove that, the coating itself, and then there are swirls underneath because it was laid down, the coating was laid down on an uncorrected car. I know it's done. I will never approve of it. And I just don't think it's a great idea. So let's get started. We have 3D1 attached to the pad. Again, we're going to keep the Eurofiber 50/50 pad on here. We're going to do a crisscross pattern and then see how well this worked. You could probably hear the polisher isn't screaming. I just have it set on the 4th speed setting, and I do have a little bit more pressure than usual. I just don't have the thumb on top of the polisher applying a little bit of pressure as you see in a lot of my videos. I have the whole palm of my hand there getting a little bit more pressure, so we could do some work removing the coating itself and maybe even some of the imperfections below in just this pass here with the 3D1. Has excellent cut right out of the gate. If you use the shop lights on the left and the right, you could probably already see the improvement that we've made. We have removed all of the swirls and scratches that were visible from this side anyway. So let me remove the residue. I'll grab you guys and bring you in close. And indeed, all that's left are some of the deeper imperfections that we're going to have to go in with wet sanding to remove them. That's exactly what we're going to do here. Again, I really do urge grabbing a couple junk panels from a local body shop, set them up on horses, and practice some wet sanding along with the rotary. Using wet sanding to spot correct some of the deeper imperfections where you don't have to hover a polisher in the same area for a long period of time, spiking temperatures, is a great idea. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm spot correcting using the 3000 grit Trizact disc. You can use KXK blocks and sheets. You can use whatever you want to. As long as you're wet sanding, I don't care where you get it from. It's a fantastic way to spot correct and really speeds up the process as well. With those imperfections removed to my satisfaction, we can go polish out the sand marks, which is no big deal. You don't really need an aggressive pattern polish to remove 3000 grit or higher. And again, as I mentioned in the first video, this has plenty of clear. It was repainted and we have a ton of clear to work with, so we can actually go for perfection on this paint job, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, we're moving right along. By the way, on a car like this, I know I'm going to get asked how long this would take to do a two-step with spot correcting, wet sanding. Should take anywhere from 8-12 hours, depending on the size of the vehicle and the amount of imperfections you're looking for. So we're finished with this first step here, and what we're going to do is, before we jump to the second step, we'll complete the roof by going down the pillars. And I showed this polisher in my year-end award for polishers. This is a 2-inch polisher. You're not going to match the power, and it was only $27. It is pneumatic, but the polisher, the air hose, the regulator, and the compressor is less than a lot of 2-inch polishers that are out there these days. It's absolutely ridiculous. You heard me talk about pneumatic tools and the hoses and also the compressors themselves. What's a regulator? A regulator is something you could attach either to the wall outlet or the compressor itself, or even the end of the hose that will control the speed of the polisher. I use my fingers or something that I can sort of leverage underneath the handle to regulate speed if I don't want to mess with the regulators themselves, but it's a perfect way to control the speed and the power of a pneumatic polisher, which is going to be pretty powerful. We'll make a run down through the back window to the hatch using the 3-inch polisher. This is the Flex XFE80 3-inch polisher. We're at the point now where we have the entire roof corrected and the pillars as well. Let's grab an IPA or a panel prep, whatever you use, doesn't really matter. And we're going to remove any type of residue or dust or anything left over from the correction process. And once again, as in the first video, we can break out the LVR 403 polish, and this is glaze, also lays down some acrylic, which will be the base or foundation layer to the coating we're going to apply later. This stuff is absolutely fantastic. You'll probably also notice Junior in the background. He's taking the paint correction. He's doing a very good job, and he's also listening. He's not lifting the polisher until the oscillation and rotation stops. So we just want to work the LVR 403 and massage it into the paint. We have a very soft polish pad from Max Shine attached to the polisher. And we're just bringing out some extra clarity, giving the paint depth. And this is where the gloss really gets a spike. And if you've seen the designated video for LVR 403, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, feel free to visit that video. Extremely easy to use to work into the paint and also wipe off, and then we're just going to let this cure. By the time I'm finished with the vehicle, it will all have been cured where I could just keep on going to the next step. That's all there is to it. Every step is complete on the roof and the pillars. We're going to let it cure. It's now perfected, and we can walk around and enjoy the work before we hop into the next portion. We're going to work on the front clip in the next video, guys. This is going to be it for this video here, and we will be swapping out polishes and compounds rather regularly so we can see and I can show you what works well with this type of car and this clear coat. If you have any questions at all on the process, don't hesitate. And if you're enjoying the content and you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit that notification bell for new videos.